The most accepted line of thought is that the first men were the first humans to inhabit Westeros, crossing over from Essos over the lost land bridge that makes up the island chain known as the Stepstones. But there are some who have put forward a different idea, that the first men may not have truly have been the first. Before their coming, it was believed that Westeros was the realm of giants, the children of the forests, and other beasts lost to time. But on the Iron Islands, on the western coast of Westeros in the Sunset Sea, the priests of the drowned gods tell a very different story to the one well known on the mainland. According to them, the Ironborn are in fact a separate race of men, apart from the common run of mankind seen on the mainland of Westeros. The famous priest Saron Salttongue once said the following: "We do not come to these holy islands from the godless lands across the sea. We came from beneath the seas, from the watery halls of the drowned god, who made us in his likeness, and gave us dominion over all of the waters of the earth." Even among the Ironborn themselves, there are many who doubt this claim, and acknowledge the more widely accepted view of an ancient descendant of the first men being the first Ironborn, even though it's known that the first men were not in fact seafaring people, like the Andals whom would follow them to Westeros thousands of years later. There is no proof of the claim of the Ironborn's most devout followers of the drowned god, who still this day believe that the Ironborn are closer kin to fish and merlings than the other races of mankind. There is even a wild theory that rejects the widely accepted first men origin of the Ironborn, and even the theories of the followers of the drowned god. An archmaester of the Citadel, known as Hereg, once proposed an interesting idea that the ancestors of the Ironborn may have come from some unknown land west of the Sunset Sea, citing the old legends of the Sea Stone Chair. This throne of House Greyjoy, which is carved into the shape of a kraken, made with some strange oily black stone very uncommon in Westeros, with only a few similar stones known to us, such as the base of the High Tower in Old Town, which is believed to predate the building of the High Tower and Old Town itself. Like the High Tower, the first men who came to Old Wick found the oily stone on their arrival. Archmaester Hereg puts forward the idea that it was the true first inhabitants of the Iron Islands who made this chair, and only later histories of the Citadel and Septons begin to attribute it to the first men. But the truth is, this is all just speculation, and even Archmaester Hereg notes his ideas are just that, speculation of a possible theory. In truth, how the Ironborn arose does not matter in the modern era of Westeros, because regardless, it cannot be denied that they do stand apart from the mainland, with their customs, beliefs, and way of governance making them quite unlike those common in other kingdoms of Westeros. As Archmaester Hereg puts forward in his Histories of the Ironborn, it all stems from religion. The cold, damp, and windy islands that make up the Iron Islands have never boasted anything akin to the forests of the mainland. Their soil is thin and could not support farming, let alone the growth of weirwood trees that are crucial to the religion of the first men. No giants ever made their homes on the islands, nor did the children of the forests in the few woods the islands do possess. Thus the old gods worshipped by the elder races and the first men were completely absent. Even when the Andals did reach the Iron Islands, their faith never took hold like it did in the mainland. As for the Ironborn, one god had always come before the old gods or the seven, the drowned god, creator of Dea, and father of the Ironborn. Unlike the old gods or the faith of the seven, the drowned god has no temples, no holy texts, nor idols of his likeness, but the one thing he does have is priests. Since before there was a recorded history, these devout holy men spread the word of their god across the Iron Islands, preaching the word of the drowned god and denouncing all other gods and men who follow them. Poorly dressed, unkempt, barefoot, the priests of the drowned gods tend not to have a permanent home, but wander the islands following the will of their god, never straying too far from the sea. Most are said to not know how to read, as their traditions are of a spoken word, with younger priests learning the prayers and rituals from an elder, with the knowledge passed down over generations. Wherever a priest may wander, the lords and small folk alike are obliged to give them food and shelter in the name of the drowned god. Most priests will only eat fish or food from the sea, and only bathe in the sea itself. Men from the mainland, when meeting a priest of the drowned god for the first time, often think them to be mad, as they might rightly appear, but it cannot be denied they wield great power over the islands. While most of the ironborn scorn or mock the faith of the Seven and the old gods of the north, they do recognise a second, less known deity, with the drowned god being opposed by the storm god, who is a malignant dwelling in the skies, hating men and all their works, sending cruel and harsh winds, lashing rains and thunder and lightning as his endless wrath. The job of the priests of the drowned men is to give blessings in the name of the drowned god. Iron men have seawater poured over their heads. A priest will then ask the drowned god to have his servant born again from the sea, as you were, to bless him with salt, and bless him with stone, and bless him with steel. The man being baptized would then respond, "What is dead may never die." Certain followers of priest are known as drowned men. Becoming a drowned man differs from priest to priest, but Theon Greyjoy makes his drowned men by having them submerged in salt water a second time in earnest, and brought back to life with a kiss of life. Aegon himself has never failed in a resurrection. The drowned men wear rough-spun robes of malted green, grey and blue, the colours of the drowned god. They carry driftwood cudgels to show their devotion in battle, and a skin of salt water to perform ritual anointments, as well to sate their thirst. The faith of the drowned god has several practices that relate back to the idea of the origin of the ironborn. The most interesting of these practices, from a mainland point of view, is their ritual drowning. Priests of the drowned god are known to purposely drown a man and then bring them back from the dead using what's known as the kiss of life. This is often done as part of a rite consecrating the participant to the drowned god. Not all men are successfully brought back to life with the kiss. If so, they are deemed not worthy. While the priest is giving the kiss of life, his acolytes pray around him. It's often a custom by the most devout of the followers to give a newborn child to the drowned god shortly after birth. The most devout of followers believe that this should be carried out using the same method as the kiss of life, but most, however, believe the child should simply be dipped in a tub of fresh seawater to wet the babe's head. In the same way the priests of the drowned gods have rituals for life, they too have some for death. In fact, there are many different types of ritual execution. Blood sacrifice is done by cutting the throat of a thrall, after which the corpse is given to the sea and the drowned god. It is often also common to drown men in salt water and not give them the kiss of life. When a faithful ironborn dies, it's often said that the drowned god was in need of a strong oarsman, with the phrase "what is dead may never die" often proclaimed in such an instance. It is believed that the deceased is summoned to the drowned god's watery hall, where they can drink and feast for all of time, with mermaids attending their every want and need. The ironborn believe that no true son of the sea would ever want to rot in the ground, as it means they would not be able to reach the drowned god's hall. Thus, an ironborn buried is seen as the ultimate punishment, by refusing them entry into the halls of the drowned god. Priests of the drowned god preach the ironborn must not shed the blood of other ironborn, though they believe such methods as drowning are acceptable, as it means that technically no blood is spilled. But the nature of men often means this tenet is more often than not ignored.